well. Hello, and welcome to I'm Right, Season 8, Episode number 4. Okay, here I am again. You know who I am, Anthony Cordova, Tony C., the co-host of I'm Right. Jill will be along shortly, and the show will start shortly in approximately 4 minutes and 10 seconds, and we'll get right into it. Now, if you are listening to me live right now, that is wonderful. But if you're listening to this in replay, and you know the video will start in about 3 minutes and 50 seconds, but you can fast forward right past this spot and get right into the show. Also, for those of you that don't know, you can watch the show, and hello, Mary and Denis, I see you there, everything looks good, so please stand by. The show will start in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, so for those of you, what was I saying? For those of you that have been here before or not been here before, you can make comments and ask questions on Facebook and YouTube. You can also, if you want to be in the show, scan that QR code that's on Facebook and YouTube, and it'll bring you right into the show where you can actually be on the show and ask a question of our guest or make a statement if you want. If you don't want to be on video, we'll ask you, and we will not put you on video. We'll just hear your audio and hear your questions. So that is something to do. So we've got another 2 minutes and 40 seconds before the show starts. And this should be pretty exciting because tonight we have Mary and Denis Vogel, married for 52 years. You know, I was just discussing with Jill that we have been married for 18 years. And Dennis and Mary call us like the youngsters. And I guess if you put us against 52 years, we are the youngsters. So we'll take that. We'll take that. Yeah, because I was saying, 18 years, that's a long time, but not against 52. So we're really looking forward to talking to them and getting them on the stage, and you can ask them questions. And I already see that there are some people watching already. There's Stacy. Stacy says hi. Hi, Stacy. Wonderful. And there is, we've got a couple of, we have Stefan is in the audience. Cool. Yes, we see no camera, but audio is there. I'm going to mute Stefan. Yeah, I'm going to mute everyone else right now. We'll open those up in a little bit. All right, so things are looking good. We have approximately 1 minute to showtime, and we're going to get right into it, so please stand by. Okay, we've got another 30 seconds. I am just so excited to get Mary and Denis on the stage, and you will see their beautiful faces in about, after the show starts. We got 15 seconds till the show starts, so I'll see you then. So please stand by.
Tony did with that piano frame is so interesting.
As you can see, we don't have Denis muted. That is on us. Yes, and we're here already. Gee, Jill pulled us up. They're here. I'm slow on the intro music, but please Don't hold that against me.
That's right, because we are here. This is I'm Right.
I'm right.
And I'm Jill Cox Cordova.
I'm Anthony Cordova.
Hey, everybody. We're excited about this show. Yay!
We are. Cool. Good to see you, Jill.
Good to see you too. Long time no see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a long time. Yes, it has.
Well, tonight we are talking about the secret to long-lasting relationships. And
what about the secret to long?
Well, you know how I just start hitting buttons?
Oh, is that what you did?
And I accidentally just hit a button that I shouldn't have hit. And now I don't know how to get out of it.
Okay, I will fix it.
Okay, thank you.
It is fixed.
Thank you. Okay, well, before we get started, we have Stacy's in the audience. Hi, Stacy.
Is this Stacy? I think this is Stacy that used to connect with us on that other platform that starts with a F.
Yes, I think so.
Yes.
I think so. So hi, Stacy.
We're so happy to know you're here.
Yes.
And we're still here.
We're still here. That? Well, on a different platform. And I also wanted to say hi to Stefan as well.
Hey, Stefan. Hey, let's do what?
I don't know what you're doing.
What are we doing?
Well, we need to do this first before we start introducing people. I don't know what you're doing. We're just saying hello to everyone first.
Everything else, so that's all. That's all.
Okay. All right. And he's gone anyway.
Oh, yeah, he is. Okay. He's probably just watching the show.
So what I wanted to do was get to our first segment that we call
Stand by your stance.
Tonight's topic, like I said, is about the secret to long-lasting relationship. And you know me, actually I don't like to research, but I find that I do a lot of research.
That's
right?
funny.
I actually don't like to research, but I do it a lot. So
she does it very much.
I found it was 2022 survey, and CNBC put it out, but 2 psychologists had observed 42,000 couples. And they said that they could tell within 15 minutes whether those couples were going to last as a couple.
15 minutes?
15 minutes. They knew, and they had a 96% accuracy rate.
I think I can do that in 10 minutes.
I think you could. Name that relationship, right?
That's right. I can name that relationship in 10 minutes.
Well,
yes.
Do you know what they said the number one thing is that meant that if they saw this, they knew that the relationship would last? Do you know what that number one thing was?
I do not know what that number one thing was.
No guesses? Like what? How have we lasted nearly 19 years?
I don't know, luck.
Oh boy.
No, I have reasons why we've lasted as long as, and it started early on in our relationship, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
So I'm just curious what's the answer.
Turning toward each other. Like I'm doing with you right now.
Body language.
Actually talking to, like when I turn to you, I'm talking to you,
Yeah.
and I'm listening to you, and I'm engaged. So, because I would have said that the number one reason that our relationship works is communication.
Yes.
Would you agree with that?
Yes. Well, early on in our relationship, we had and I'm not going to do the whole story. I've told it many times, but we had a disagreement where I hurt your feelings and you shut down on me. You would not speak. And early on, I said,
imagine Jill speechless.
I said, look, we have to talk about this. I hurt your feelings. I'm sorry, but we have to talk this out. If you shut down on me, this relationship will not last.
And you were right. I talked. So we talked it out. Everything's good.
Now we talk.
So I want to know what our guests think. we should introduce them first, right?
Hello.
Hi, Mary and Dennis. This is Mary and
Hey,
Denis
LaToya.
Vogel. Hi, it's Mary and Denis Vogel, everybody.
Say hi, everyone. Woo-hoo.
Yay!
Married for 52 years.
Yes, they
I mean, you
are.
have to applaud for them for that.
Yes,
They've been married. While they won't stop clapping, I'll tell you.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about Mary and Dennis, and we'll let you see for yourself why they are such a great couple. Mary started her professional life as a hairdresser, and she had the goal of wanting to own her own salon, but she started doing other things, right?
Stuff happens.
She was a travel agent, she was an airline reservationist, and she graduated as a non-traditional student in English and art. She's a fantastic artist, everybody. Like,
Yes.
I have a lot of your art on my wall, Mary. She went on to earn a master's degree in professional writing. She's an excellent writer as well and has worked as an English instructor. And you'll see when I introduce Dennis what they have in common here. She's retired now, but like I said, she's a fantastic artist and writer. That's what she does now. And then with Dennis, the summer before college, he worked at a radio station. And when you hear his voice, you'll imagine that as well. And that radio station was in Pontiac, Michigan. That led to his majoring in media and communication at Wayne State University. And then, Tony, you would like this.
I would.
During a college summer break, he discovered his love of travel, which we will also talk about tonight, on a motorcycle trip from Michigan to California.
That's a good ride. That is a good ride.
Since graduating from undergrad, he's done a lot of things. I know him because he hired me to teach at Kennesaw State University in the communication department. Excellent chair. Still ranks as my favorite chair, and I've had lots of chairs, Dennis. He's been a middle school teacher. He's started a small business. He was a crew chief of a Can-Am race car.
Oh, I didn't know that one.
He travels to Europe. Well, actually, both of them are worldwide travelers. And he has a PhD in communication, and he earned that from Florida State. I know there's some Florida State fans in the audience. He's trained as a pilot. He bought a single-engine plane, and he's worked as a flight instructor. Like I said, he's chaired more than one communication department. And both of them have lived aboard not one, but two different 44-foot troller yachts. And both of them had conducted a study abroad program in Thailand, and they did that for 5 summers. So,
wow.
Woo, that's a lot, right?
I think that's amazing.
Right?
Just so everyone knows, like, Dennis is my idol. I want to be just like him when I grow up, but I'm like way behind. I'll never catch up to all the things Dennis has done.
I don't
and
think
Mary
very many people would. Yes.
In their lives.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm trying to play catch up, but I probably won't make it. So are we gonna let? We're
gonna let them speak. So I have questions.
Jeez.
So. Dennis and Mary, we know the story of how you two met, but tell our audience.
Okay. Oh, you want me to?
Oh, well, okay. I was a member of the Tall Club in Detroit, Michigan.
How tall are you?
I joined to meet girls back when I was single.
He's
And how
6'5".
6'5". Okay.
And actually, just a quick aside, Jill. When you and I talked, generally I was behind the desk and you were standing in front of it. And, you'd come into my office and we'd have a conversation. And you always had this big persona. And then you had a Honda car that you had left over at the annex. And I went over to get it for you for some reason. And that was when I realized how petite you are. I tried to get in that car. But yes, was a member of the Tall Club, and actually dated a woman who told me, and this is great, when a woman you're dating tells me, there's another woman I'd like you to meet. And it was Mary.
I'm glad.
And it was like love at first sight. I mean, we were
Aw.
together for 6 weeks roughly when we decided to get married. And
Wow. And so how did you
Amazing.
know? How did you well, I'm going to ask both of you that question.
Sometimes
How did you know in 6 weeks that the other one was the
people
one?
look for things that are
I
not.
think there was a lot of chemistry. There was a lot of talking. There was a lot of
At
enjoying
least
each
for
other's
me.
company.
Yeah.
It it was you just know. You just know, but you can't. I think you really can't just depend on chemistry. It has to. There has to be more than that. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't get to the more until it's too late.
That's true. That's true. And
Well,
so,
I
Mary,
think
you were.
that,
Go ahead, Mary.
well, I was very tall too.
And how tall are
I was
you?
just, well, I'm not so tall anymore, but then I was just a shade under 6 feet. I was like 5'11" and a quarter. So I met this guy who was so different from anyone else, and I really liked it. So I think I was just hoping he was the one. I don't know that I really, I don't know that I intellectualized anything at that. I was 24. I don't know that I intellectualized anything at that point, but I just wanted him to be the one.
Okay.
Aw.
Actually, when I went
thought you were gonna
home,
say, I just wanted him.
well, we won't.
That's what I thought. But continue. I'm sorry I interrupted.
I won't get into that during this show. But that after that extravagant weekend with all these tall people, I went home and was talking to my roommate, and I told her all the details and everything, and all about Dennis. And she said, "You'll probably marry him." And I said, "Yeah, I think I will." So it was crazy. And I don't really suggest that to people, because I think that any hardships we had, any rough patches we had in the early part of our marriage were due to the fact that we really didn't know each other well enough. But we made it work.
Yeah,
But you know what?
Obviously. Yeah.
Wow,
2 years before we met, I was working as a middle school teacher, and there was a couple, two teachers at the school, who had been living together for 3 years at that point, and they finally decided to get married. And once they got married, it lasted 6 months.
6 months.
Oh,
done.
wow.
And what that said to me was maybe just longevity, the amount of time you're dating or living together isn't really the best indication. There's something else.
True. Yeah, there's no one size fits all.
That's
People
true.
are so different.
That's true.
Absolutely. So, but isn't the question, so what's the secret? What's the secret? I mean, because no one recommends that people get married after 6 weeks. But so it's like you two did everything that people say don't
Wrong.
do. Right. And you, Mary, you were 22 years old.
24.
24.
24 years old. So it's
A young
still
24.
Yeah. So there has to be a secret. What is the secret?
I think the secret is, if there is a secret, and I don't know, well, I guess the secret is you have to want the other person to be happy. You have to take into consideration their needs. You can't erase yourself, or you shouldn't,
Correct.
but because that'll come back to haunt you, to bite you. But I think that when you want the other person to actualize their ambitions, dreams, hopes, you have a good start.
Yeah, we've really facilitated a lot of what I think normal people would consider strange stuff during our marriage. We've tried
Like
a lot of
what?
different things. Well, living aboard a boat twice. The second time, it was a kind of attempt at early retirement, and I was 58 at that point and had just left Kennesaw State, but we just didn't have enough money to stay that course. But that's, I think that's one of the hallmarks of our relationship. We've not ever had, I'm hearing somebody saying something about laying down.
We don't know where it's coming from. Let me check. Yeah, we have no idea where it's coming from.
Okay.
But it's the idea that you want to facilitate the other person's dreams. I love the fact that Mary worked at United Airlines and was able to get us free tickets.
Yeah.
But she was after, and this is a coincidence, after 18 years of it, she was burned out. And she wanted to do something else. And that's when the opportunity for her to do an undergrad degree came up. And so, that was the way we went. We've really facilitated each other's desires.
That's great. That's great. So you two you talked about living on a boat twice, and we know that you all have traveled the world. So obviously you two are very adventurous. But at some point, But for you all, travel is not just about tourism, is it? So how did that all develop, where it became more than that?
Well, let's see, the first time we were involved with the study abroad was, I think, in 1999 at Kennesaw. And it was to Oaxaca in Mexico and then to Italy. And that was kind of a zoo. It was the students that went on that Italy study abroad may not have done it for the best reasons. It was about drinking wine and carousing. But in 2004, Mary and I visited Thailand for the first time, or the first time for me. Mary had been there already when she was working for United, and saw that as a great place for a study abroad experience because of the safety of the country, the friendliness of the people, and the very reasonable prices for food and accommodation there. So that's when we started doing the Thailand study abroad. And actually for the last 2 years, I've returned to Thailand without Mary to teach at a Jesuit college in northern Thailand, do some volunteer teaching.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
And Mary, what did you do while he was away?
Oh, I painted, I wrote, I had some friends who stayed with me for a while, and yeah, it was nice. I really don't want to take those kinds of trips anymore. I haven't been that well in the last couple of years, and trips like that would be hard on me. But I do want, it means a lot to Dennis. He loves those students. He loves the people he's met there. So I want him to go. And it's not like I can't. It's not like I can't amuse myself or be content or, have nothing to do while he's gone. I don't pine. I miss him, but I don't pine for him.
So that goes back to you. Both of you want the other one to be happy, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, he's been taking very good care of me during this illness. So I have to, I tell my friends I have to let him out of his cage once in a while.
I'm great trained.
All right.
He's great trained.
That is fantastic.
So that also gets to the point of when couples are, many people think if there's a couple and one goes to another country while the other one stays at home, that there must be trouble because they're not together. There must be trouble in paradise. So tell everyone that you don't have to, well, I do take Tony everywhere I can. He says I never take him anywhere, but that's not true.
Jill has been to many fabulous places without me.
Only because my job sent me there, and he chose not to come with me. But anyway,
that's a whole nother story.
Can either of you or both of you speak to the point of you don't always have to be like all over each other all the time?
I think that's just so true, because when we're back together again, we're really happy to see each other. And we've grown while we've been apart. And I think that when we get back together again, we can sort of take the other person along with us. We've discovered things about ourselves that we can share.
And
you still discover things about each
what
other?
I was going to ask. That's my question.
Well, I think we discover when we're apart, we might discover things about ourselves.
I see.
That are different. But yeah, I don't think you ever stop discovering things about yourself or the other person.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you stop.
I would agree.
Because we're constantly changing, hopefully, or else life's a big bore.
Isn't it though?
That is absolutely correct.
Well, we have one comment from this is Chris Alantini. He also used to work at Kennesaw State, but I don't know. I don't think you were there when he worked there, Dennis. But anyway, he's saying awesome about both of you.
Well, thank you.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, hey, Chris.
And Stacy said she is the one.
Oh,
That used to be. So
yay!
we're so happy that you're here. Thank you for finally.
Yep. She said,
being
"Yes,
able
I
to,
am."
Find us again, and I
Yay.
hope it wasn't a problem. So we're still here, same time, same place, just
Yep.
a different platform.
Yep, and we have Ronaldo here as well.
And Ronaldo is here, but
And Connie,
I
I'm
wanna
sure.
say a shout out because I know he is in the audience, and I'm gonna unmute him because he's in the audience live.
Yes,
So
Stefan,
can you hear us?
I can hear you.
All
Hi.
right. Yeah, you are not on video anymore because you had turned your camera on for a little bit. So I don't think you were camera ready tonight. But how are you doing?
I'm good. And yourself?
Wonderful. We're doing wonderful, wonderful. Do you have any questions for Dennis and Mary?
Oh, man, I did not think I was going to be put on the spot.
you know us better than that.
So being married for 52 years, would you say, is it still worth getting married in today's age?
Good question.
Yeah, very good question.
Yeah, I know that fewer and fewer couples are getting married, and more are cohabitating. But I think there's value to solemnizing the relationship and making those promises, those solemn vows and promises. So yes, I think certainly marriage is still relevant. Although most of the legal impediments to not being married are gone now. But certainly it makes it stickier if you decide you don't want to be married anymore.
However, I think women who have children should. I don't know if being married protects them or not. We did not have children, which is probably another. Took a lot of stress off us, maybe from time to time, and might have helped our relationship. But women who have children, I wonder if they should still get married because for the protections. But I don't know what's right for one person is not right for another. But I like the idea of being married. I liked getting married. I've liked staying married. It's meant a lot to me, and there are people who still do it.
Yeah, we did it.
We did it.
Thank
Well,
you.
we had to practice with other people first.
That's true. We didn't get it right the first time.
We got
It was
married and
just
got
practice.
divorced. But we
So I
did
should come with
it.
like a couple marriages under my belt and then really get married.
Yeah, it might work. It might work.
It might.
But I don't. If I, it's much better to get married and stay married because divorce
Well,
is messy.
if you have a hard time staying married, I guess you need to look at who you were married to, what was wrong there, yourself, what's wrong there, and then move forward.
Yeah.
That's great
this
advice. That's
true.
for everybody, whether they're in a marriage or not. It's like if you keep attracting or you're drawn to the same type of person and still have the same issues, relationship after relationship, step back and
Take a look
take
at
a look at
yourself.
you. Yep.
Yeah, see
Yep.
what you're doing or not doing.
Yes, that's right. That's why I would love to like talk to well, I guess I'm not going to call them out, but specific so I can't talk.
What is
Celebrities. There's certain celebrities I would like to talk to about that.
Yeah, maybe we will.
Yes.
Maybe.
Give
And
them
then-
some advice.
And then I think not being married could work very well for some people. We're all such individuals, and we come from so many different varied backgrounds. It's hard to just say yes, marriage is the way, or marriage is not the way.
Cool.
That's
But
true.
I think if you do get married, in our case at least, Mary was absolutely right that our not having children really did remove a potential stressor, especially since we moved around a lot. And
Right.
Was that a
Well,
hard
I think
decision?
that if we had had children, we wouldn't have moved so much. So our life would have been quite different.
Yeah.
And of course, there are so many people who could just never imagine life without children.
Yes. Stefan, you were asking something?
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you guys off. I was asking, was that a tough decision when you guys got married not to have kids? Because I know that's usually that's like the camel on the back question of if you get married to someone because they want kids and you may not want them, and but for some it works and for some it doesn't. Like, you may try and wait for like 5 years hoping that the person's going to change their mind, and now you're in that divorce because you're like, no, you're not giving me what I want.
Yeah. No, it wasn't a difficult decision for us. It did come up, especially later on as the clock was ticking. We thought, do we really not want to have children? So there was a lot of discussion, a lot of thought, and here we are. It was a conscious decision, no, for us.
We had a discussion like that early on when we were dating about that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. We decided that over a week we would decide whether we wanted, or it's mostly Jill because I've already have children, whether she ever wanted children. And we took a week apart. Well, not broken up, but we took a week to think about it. And I came back with, no, I don't want any kids. And thank
and I
goodness,
came back with, no, I don't want any
I don't want
kids.
kids either.
Fortunate.
Well,
So
that's such an important
Yeah.
discussion to have.
It is.
And I think so many couples just kind of go into marriage thinking, well, this other person thinks like I do, so we don't have to discuss this.
Yeah, very
That
true.
they'll come around to my point of view, even if they disagree. And I think that's a big mistake.
It is because that's a deal breaker.
oh yes. Oh
Sure.
yes.
Did you all have deal breakers?
Deal breakers.
You mean with previous relationships?
Or with us?
Oh, yeah.
With each other before you decided in those 6 weeks that you could get married. Did you have your own.
We weren't smart enough to have that kind of discussion. We probably should have, or maybe the secret was not to. But
Maybe
no,
that is.
we plunged
Yes.
in, and we were very fortunate somehow.
We were really lucky
Yeah,
that
you
all
know,
of the things that were not discussed happened to be harmonious.
wow. Okay. Yeah, you know, sometimes I could tell a story, but the story may take too long.
And we are out of time, actually.
We're out of time? Oh, my
Yes,
goodness.
that went really, really quickly. I'm gonna put up one
And
more.
Stefan, I want to thank you for coming. I'm going to put you on mute, so we won't hear you again. But thank you so much.
But hopefully you're still hearing us, because we do have.
Yeah, he'll still hear us.
We still have a comment for you, Stefan, which is, I'm so glad to reconnect. This is from Stacy, who was on that other platform that we were all on, and glad to hear Stefan. So she's
Yeah.
happy to see you too.
Yeah, we all love Stefan. And Stacy.
Yeah, and Stacy too.
Yes, these are some of our favorite people.
Yes. So, Dennis and Mary, any last thoughts, last statements about the secret to long-lasting relationships?
It's something that is an ongoing piece of work. It's a beautiful piece of wood that can always be polished a little more, like Tony's found driftwood, I think.
I like that. Keep
That's a
working.
good
Keep
one.
working.
Shine it up. Shine it up. Yes.
It's
And
never over.
we have two more comments for you all. This is from the same person. It's Constance, but it's Connie. I'm here. Interesting couple, well presented. But
I
also,
read that on the screen, Jill, and I read it as well preserved.
Which isn't true.
Someone said that to me one time. They said, "Oh, gee, you're well preserved."
and then they seem very open and non-judgmental. Love this.
I think trying to be non-judgmental is the secret of life, actually. One of the secrets, anyway.
Excellent.
I like that. Thank you,
Profound
Connie.
statement. Yes.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Dennis and Mary. You know we love you, and I'm
do.
glad that
And
we
we
could
love you.
We
present
love you
you
guys.
to our audience. We love you all so much. And I would say that, like you all said that maybe you got lucky because you didn't have to have those discussions. But to me, it's like I can't imagine either one of you with anyone else.
Did-
like
did
like
you
you're
catch
supposed
the
to be
great-
together.
Did you catch the great irony in our early relationship?
What
What's
was the
that?
great irony?
Well, Mary was a hairdresser and all my hair fell out.
It really attracted me to Dennis from the start was his sense of humor. Seriously, I have, and during the rough times, the last couple of years, it has helped me so much. So
Yes,
that was
yes.
so I noticed that about him. I liked it, and I went with it. So that was thinking about something.
Yes.
That's good. That's good.
And
And Dennis, you still have that sense of humor too. We love it.
For some reason, that's like high on the list for relationships.
Yes. Like who doesn't want to
I need to
laugh?
keep you laughing.
Yes, and Tony does. Oh boy, does he. We have a question for you all from someone in the audience. Ronaldo asked, did she do your
No, Ronaldo, I do my own hair now.
But I did do it,
She did for years.
and he blames me for what happened.
I think maybe, Mary, you just wanted a bald man.
I love a bald man.
Yeah, how'd you feel about Telly Savalas?
Well, his head is his pate is great. I don't know about the rest of him.
All
I don't know him
but
very well.
Thank goodness Dennis has a good head. It's a nice shape
Yeah, that's
so
true.
It's good.
That's true.
Everybody can't do a bald head.
That is true. That is very true.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm fortunate also.
Yes, you are.
Good.
Yes.
Very fortunate.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna
Yeah,
wrap
we
it
gotta
up.
start
So
closing
again,
this
thank you
out.
so much, Mary and Dennis. Thank you
Bye, guys.
everybody who interacted with them. So we
Yes.
appreciate that too. We hope you like that too, Dennis and Mary.
Loved
and
it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So there you have it. You have lots of secrets to long-lasting relationships, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well,
Cool. Well, thanks for coming. You don't have to do anything right now. We're gonna go to a different screen, and you'll still hear us and see us, and it'll be good. But we're gonna close this
and
out.
I'll communicate with you,
All right.
Mary, after the show.
And thank you
Great.
so much. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Lots of fun.
All right. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Love you guys and the audience.
All right, Jill. We gotta close this out.
Yes, we
Running
do.
out of time.
I'm ready. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, after show anyone, we need your input. So if there's any shows you'd like or guests you'd like to be on the show, that would be a good one. You can help us get them too, but we'd like to hear your input. So communicate with us through Facebook or YouTube or any way you can. Okay, what else? Ooh, is this next week, Jill?
Next week.
Next week. That's going to be season 8, episode 5. We're going to have Diane Harvey. And she's a wonderful author and a wonderful person. She is probably one of the kindest, considerate people I know.
And she'll be talking about caregiving.
So that's February 5th.
February. Oh my gosh.
Yes, 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay, remember to check us out again next week, same time, same place. I'm right, 8 p.m. Wednesday nights Eastern time. And you can also go to JillCoxCordova.com to watch our podcast. All right, so this is just about it, Jill.
That's it.
So
I had a lot of fun tonight.
We love you all, and we'll see ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Jill said something about she was going to say something to us after the show.
Ah,
I think.
we'll just hang on.